It's always kind of taken something away from the 500 for me personally because of that.
So where are we?
So this is my office at Clutch, which I'm in here probably once or twice a week. And it's a place to store all my trophies and stuff that you accumulate over the years that you're like, what do I?
Oh, and I hear you're a bit of a hoarder.
I'm a hoarder for sure.
Okay.
I totally am, because like, listen, there's a lot of stuff that like, what was this to do? Throw it out? Like, even like stuff fans sent in, like a kid may have made something for you. Like, no, I put it in a box and I don't know, I put it away. I'm organized somewhat. This was first championship in 2018. That's Hudson. That's my oldest. He was under a year at the time, and I thought it'd be a good idea to put him in the trophy. So
I mean, that's so cool. And
it
to
is
be
super
able to
cool.
show
He
them
didn't fit anymore. That's my first Xfinity win back in 2008.
Which was a real big deal, right?
That was a big one. That may be the youngest Xfinity winner, which I still am. So that was cool. This was the Pocono win that they talked about as probably the most important victory of my career.
And you outdueled Mark Martin there, right?
Yeah.
Which makes that even more significant because of the role that he played in your life,
The role he played
right?
in my career, and then the moment of not knowing where your future is going to be. And it's a picture from Daytona 500 in 2015.
And that's your thing, like jumping out of the car with the steering wheel, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to do something unique, something different.
So that's a big one.
That's a good one. Yeah, the Harley J. Earl is one that has to be part of a trophy collection. over time, you want to make sure you have one of those. That one's definitely a real special one to have. And the Daytona 500, like, it's one of our big races of the year, but it's become such a wreck fest at the end because everyone knows what's on the line, and everyone gets super, super aggressive, and there's always a wreck. And there's been so many times that I've been leading on the last lap in a wreck, and I get dumped here, I get pushed over here, and you never see a checkered flag. And then it's the guy that's running like 7th wins the race. Yeah. You know, and it's like, it's so frustrating that it ends up that way. To where there's a lot of times it's the underdog that wins the Daytona 500, our biggest race of the year. So that's always kind of, I don't know, it's always kind of taken something away from the 500 for me personally because of that. But it is definitely a race that you gotta say you've won at one point.
Right.
But championships, that's what it's about. That's what the whole thing's about to me is winning the championship. And you know, the first one to the second one, right? The first one, there's nothing like your first when it comes to the championship. And like I remember, like the whole last like 5 laps, I was shaking in the car. Like I can feel like my foot's on the throttle and it's doing like this, and I'm like, oh geez, like I knew it was on the line, and just hoping that the car made it. Right? You're just thinking, don't blow a tire, don't blow up, don't mess up.
What is that?
Oh, so when you win at Bristol, they give you a sword because they call it the last great Coliseum.
Looks kind of sharp too.
Yeah, it's home protection. I did Monday Night Raw with Kyle Busch. I was so nervous.
You were?
Yeah,
Why?
I was on this stage and I had lines. I had to remember my lines. I was scared I was going to forget my lines. I did not do a good job. I can't say either one of us did a good job. We were pretty young and scared.
And you guys were BFFs there, though.
We got along good then.
Yeah.
We got along fine. I also wasn't much of a threat at that moment either. This is probably my favorite all-time picture. That's me and my dad, quarter midget club called Silver City in Meriden, Connecticut. So that's when I first started racing. My dad got a car. We just went and played around. We didn't know what the heck we were doing. My dad kept that car, and it's been sitting for 20 years. So I got an engine. I bolted an engine in. I got it set up for Hudson to drive.
Oh, that's neat.
And so he went up there and drove that car on that track, and we retook the picture together. So we got the same, like in the same exact spot with the same car with my dad, myself, and Hudson. And that was a really cool moment. So this is the studio part of the building. So this was what used to be my toy box back in the day. And now it has become a studio. It kind of grew. We got lights and we got all this stuff. And then next thing you know, it's like, well, other people started adding their shoots here, and we got a real business here and a real opportunity. We're connected within the sport. All of a sudden now we're doing things for other local companies around here, and people are doing Super Bowl commercials out of here. I'm like, yes, this is like a real thing all of a sudden. So it's kind of just had this natural progression out of the opportunity of being a race car driver, right? There's so many opportunities that kind of come your way because of the platform and because of the relationships we have, to where you got to take advantage of it while you have it.
And what are your goals with this?
Grow it, make it bigger. It's like everything else, right? Is keep going and see what it can be.